Welcome, beautiful divine masculine and feminine darlings. This is the Seraphim Gypsy, SeraFae Indigo Empress, in Shiloh Horizon. I don't plan to be here for too long, but I do have a little reading to do. So for Divine Feminine, cards that came out, first and foremost, Isis, there's an emphasis on root chakra energy, safety and security. This also ties into financial abundance. All right. I hear Back to You by Russ. So the reference of 222 Karmics who thought that they could break light workers down. You see the cracks, the golden cracks. It's like kintsugi, Japanese pottery, which is intentionally shattered. And then they use this gold, liquid gold or gold powder mix, and they glue each piece back together. So the gold seeps through the cracks and it makes every piece a little bit different, but each piece is beautiful, more so than it was before it was shattered and pieced back together. There's healing happening here, and this one is also about having support, so light workers or soul family or support networks coming through, but also spiritually speaking. That's not new though. Those of us who've had divine support, ancestral support, that's not new. What is new is either better people coming through after a cycle, or if you had good people in your life and those people happen to pass on, the ones that were left were toxic. This is about elevating in a new level of frequency to the point where you resonate with new vibe tribe. It's like the way that those previous connect were on a healthy level, but better. Because so are you. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. Anything else, Divine Feminine? I'm ready to heal. I'm worthy of the miracles meant for me. She's got, almost looks like Mother Mary, or even Saint Teresa, Mother Teresa. So again, no matter how much chaos and confusion and challenges they try to create, it's about being able to overcome this. Also knowing through this, being able to see through this. Yeah. It's giving also Joan of Arc. And Mother Teresa. They thought the Divine Feminines weren't able to defend themselves. It goes back into that previous energy. Where is it? I'm nothing except divine love. And they thought that that meant that we would just lay down and tolerate abuse, but that's not love. That's not self-love, right? It's not love coming from people who are being abusive. It's not love towards them to accept their abuse. It's not loving towards ourselves to accept that abuse. It's not love at all. It is self-love to not tolerate their abuse because there's nothing but hatred in that, in their abuse. It's not being hateful to stand up against abuse. It's self-respecting and self-loving. There's a difference. So they were, right, confused. But I'm not, you see. Love is what sets me free, she says, but I am married to my own soul. Meaning, although I certainly would love to connect to a divine counterpart, I don't need to be around people to be my fullest self, right? I don't need someone else to make me complete. But obviously these karmic people do. They feel like they need to have people around them either to distract themselves from the fact that they're not whole, or to try to, I guess, make themselves appear fuller than they are. Exactly, I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. I'm safe and divinely protected. Held in love at all times. I have arrived. I'm where I will always be, in love. So for those who've been targeted, those who've been intentionally outcasted, this is why you understand others. There's also an emphasis on not going towards or tolerating these people who did try to outcast divine beings for being different, for standing up for themselves or others. And I know a lot of these people, they realize that they picked the wrong team, or they targeted the wrong person. I just told you I was picking up Joan of Arc. That's funny. And so now they're wanting to come back through. They're wanting mercy. But God says, where was their mercy towards you? You know, you've been recreating stability in your life and your home environment. And I understand that they want mercy, but where was their mercy towards you, especially if their home lives are being torn up right now? But remember that they were trying to tear yours up. Yeah, it's God saying, you mind your business, right? Their karma is not your responsibility. They're catching karma for, in some cases, divine feminines coming after you and your kids. And if that's your story, you know it's your story. And so don't worry about them. You just focus on healing and loving you and your kids. which is what you were supposed to be doing, which is what you were doing, which is what made them mad, which is why they attacked you. But that's also why they're catching karma. So you get back on track, you nurture yourself and your kids. Your karma, their karma rather, is none of your business. You know, you can't save them from that. It's like the flu. You can catch it if you get involved, but you can't save them from their karma. Let's see. Anything for divine masculine? Music. So this masculine energy either ties into music. This might be an air sign. See the scales here. Or he likes music or uses music to communicate, possibly even just spiritually, with his divine counterpart. Look, somebody who's in tune with the nature elements, maybe somebody who's good at growing or is in touch with, maybe even just honestly, I know it sounds funny, but likes vegetables, something about the garden. But there's something about growth here, hammer, growth. Not being afraid to like tear things down or adjust things as necessary to build and rebuild, but also not being unable to, look, there's that earthly energy, earth angel, not unable to pull things together as need be. So there's that. There's another music instrument here. Here's another one. You've got three. You've got the flutes, the strings, and the drum here. Metal. There's alchemy here. It's creating a shield and a sword. It's also divine strength. Look, craftsman, not unable to build things or piece things together. Look at that lion. Strength. And I feel like this is because he's defending himself. More specifically, he's stepping up to defend his divine counterpart, 1222. Let's see what else, shall we? Tell me about okay, so there are karmic energies, right? That he knows that he needs to try to protect her from. Something, he says, I know where you are because I've been there before. He's been either targeted or put through whatever she's been dealing with. And so he not only recognizes it, but understands, yeah, unicorn, what she's going through. And also that you don't get targeted that way. Like, they don't rob empty houses. You don't get targeted that way unless you have something valuable. You are someone of value. And they see that. It's why they're threatened by that and they try to destroy it. For the person that embodies that. Look, stay in your lane. That's so funny. And that's what they should have been doing the whole time, instead of targeting divine feminine for prophesizing things that they didn't like to hear about, but that were the truth nonetheless. Sat there and just decided to troll her for being a prophetess instead. That was a terrible idea. A bunch of clowns. No. Yeah. So the obstacles that they tried to create for other people, that backfired, and moon magic backfired, and anything that they tried to gain against others by ill intent or ill will, backfired. Yeah, because they lack empathy. You know why? Because they're narcissistic. Well, that backfired. Yeah, I told you, cult leader. Terrible, terrible idea, Karmics. Why'd you do that? Why do you think that was a good idea? Mad at the whistleblower for whistleblowing. Too bad. Boo. Okay, tell me about divine feminine. So they are jealous of her style, of her integrity, but also I just heard, she's beauty and she's grace. Stay in your lane, or she'll deck you in the face. You gotta learn your place. Baby, green is not your color. Seraphim, emerald, gem, midnight, gypsy. Hello. Emerald green is mine, though. Want to know what my shirt says today? I can show you. Hold on. Lucky like that. It's not luck, though, baby. It's alignment. They're just not in it. That's all. So the energetic, the jealous vampires, huh? They're so jealous of divine feminine, the fashionable, creative starseed. Somebody who has multitude of faceted aspects of their personality, very multi-talented, multifaceted. You see? Ooh. Somebody who is able to see their red flags and rejects them. I posted something specifically, actually, in the community board this morning. Yep. And there's a karmic who's been involved with hacking and stalking and copycatting and all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, even the fallen, he's fallen now, but the fallen masculine that she was trying to compete for and chase and what have you, which is wild. Like, why would you attack another female over a dick that she doesn't even want? Get real. But anyway, I hate her because she's crazy. Yeah, obviously. She joined a cult and was proud to brag about it. Trying to chase clout and be something that she's not because she's really jealous of that one who is. Thank you very much. She was over there too busy joining a cult to have any logic, sense of self. Just where she got lost in the sauce of a black hole. A bunch of not even gray blobs, black squares. You squares, you bunch of squares. Yeah, see? And they try to lure people into their polygamous cult, their little incest cult, their little bestiality cult, whatever other things that they're doing, by either getting people onto drugs or with trauma bonds, and they mirror each other narcissistically. They claim that they have things in common when they don't. They copy what they think that, let's say, a fallen masculine is drawn to in divine feminine, and so they'll project or copy those parts of her because they think it will turn him on and distract him from the original, the real divine feminine. But she's trying to just present this shallow persona on the outside to lure him in. It's kind of like peanut butter in a mousetrap, or it's like a moth to a flame or a mosquito to a bug zapper. But that's the thing. It's, in this case, it's not the glow of a light worker that he's being drawn to. That's the illusion she was trying to present, or make him think that they had something in common, when really he was supposed to go on a healing journey with divine feminine. And that was his choice. She's still going on that, and she has recontracted connections. So these people don't matter, which is why them trying to be all up on her grill and her bumper, still stalk and harass and all this stuff is insane. It's even more insane than it was. And so in this particular post from this morning, there was one that had a red flag in it, and just a red flag emoji. But in the cover title, this person was stalking me and harassing me on YouTube. And then I have a screen grab of their Facebook with their location and what have you. And in the caption, they made their caption something like, life is short, don't lie, or just be honest, or something like that. But first of all, they're not. They're wildly dishonest and fake. A copycat, plagiarizer, doppelganger. And so they're trying to copy the essence of somebody with true integrity, a real divine feminine. But the caption that she borrowed, that she plagiarized, really, she tweaked a couple of words, but it was the same thing, was actually something similar to what this fallen masculine had in his caption. And it was something like, you never know what day is going to be your last, live every day like it's your last, or something like that. And so she copied that, tried to change the words a little bit, but to convince him that they had something in common. And then I noticed, because this is somebody who's been stalking me, trying to tap my accounts and stuff, when I went to get the evidence I needed for the authorities, just make sure the updated evidence was accurate, I noticed that the guy that she had been dating after this fallen masculine, he looked a whole lot like the fallen masculine, like weirdly a lot like him. And so again, seems like she tried to pick somebody that was as much like him or looked as much like him as possible. It's a weird fixation and obsession with the divine feminine and the divine masculine, or the fallen masculine, because he was divine masculine. And if he picked other people, which he did, that's why he fell. He's a karmic. So look, I just split the deck. Yeah, exactly. It's all fake. I just did my nails too. Look, the nails on that. I hope you're somewhere praying. Because you targeted an empath, and that's a karmic shitstorm for them. Anything else? I feel like that's good for now. I hope you find your peace, fall into your knees. Divine masculine, please. Look at how they tried to insert themselves into her reading. Again, privilege. Legend, okay. So divine masculine either understands. Okay. There's an energy about having to overcome something. He understands what it's like to have to overcome something, including being hated on by jealous people, which is what these karmics have done towards divine feminine, especially those who are trying to be fake, right? Sitting there claiming that they're something that they're not, while hating on people, stalking people, and then trying to play the victim when they're not. But really, they're targeting minorities, women, children, not just, but often women, children, people of either mixed descent or color of any kind. And I mean, he sees that here, overcomer. She's an overcomer. Look, the oracle. Yeah, he says there's nothing holding her back, right? These trolls can't stop her. They need to mind their own business. They're in trouble for not doing that, right? Because she's been facing her shadow wounds and clearing these shadow energies and people. Look, these occult people, these cult leaders even out. Calling it out. Using her platform for a good cause. Right. Speaking on the truth. Looking like a whole snack, he says, but she's not a whole snack. She's a whole garden. If I water her, she'll If I water her, she'll nurture me forever, meaning she might seem feral to your average person, like she's wild and untamed, but that's not the truth. She's just had to be very protective and defensive over her energy because of the way these people have treated her. But if I go hard for her and I love her the way that she deserves, she won't be like that towards me. Right. But because these karmics have put her in that bad position, she said to tell them to get bent. Because they tried to make her feel like it was bad for loving herself and respecting herself and caring for herself. Right, because they don't. And then they're mad that they couldn't gaslight her into thinking that love meant accepting that abuse. Anything else? Land back. So I feel like this is more towards, yeah, see, it's divine masculine. Either overcoming obstacles himself or stepping in to help divine feminine overcome obstacles, or this is them doing that together as they clear out these karmic cycles. And narcissists as a team of empaths. Hello. Power couple, he says. Yep. Let's stop there. Unless you want to tell me about them as a team. Shush, karmics, they're panicking. Okay. They build together well to a point of having privilege, blessing. And then there's something about people listening, them having things to say, them using their platforms for good things, or this could be music, but this could also be education or just communication on some level. Yeah. Teaching people that it's okay to love yourself and take care of yourself. It's like he's doing that as well. But being able to step out of this FU energy by embracing that self-love and defense towards people like that and speaking up against it, about it, if necessary. And I'm hearing that in this case, in some of these cases, for some people, it absolutely has been. Anything else? I feel like there's another one that needs to be. Merging them together. The truth of the divine. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I got those ones already, didn't I? Tell me about what does divine masculine need to be aware of to move forward? That the devil is trying to create confusion and chaos or fear to mess with his abundance, because I think it will block him from coming into his highest self or divine feminine. Yeah. From discovering himself or the truth and tuning into his highest ability, skill set. They feel like it'll make him go into perfectionism mode, and then because something's not like perfect in his mind, then he'll never go forward with it, meaning he'll never come through to divine feminine, and they think that he will just blow the opportunity, or they'll have time to go in and either target her or get her for themselves. That's what their idea is, instead of connecting with her, because they know that really it's both of them. They're supposed to align together. So what is he to do? Take action. Take action on the situation, right? It's okay to be upset with these toxic energies for trying to play games with his life. He doesn't have to be nice about those things, or people trying to gaslight him, or again make him feel like it's bad for him to be able to shift between the dualities of energy, right? You don't have to people please just to be a good person. In fact, that's disrespectful to yourself and the divine when they're toxic people doing toxic things. You don't have to be harmful either, but you don't have to be nice. Or at least you don't have to put up with their crap. If they're trying to create obstacles, no. Right, by instilling fear, creating blockages to instill fear. Why? Because they're jealous of divine feminine, of her beauty, of the connection of the individual and the masculine within himself. But I feel like it's also the life that they built together. Is there anything else? Final outcome? Wisdom. You can overcome this. Travel. He's being called to move towards his divine feminine. Go towards her. Focus. Flow. Right? So let this natural connection open. And if he's being called to stand up for her, yeah, look, to protect her, and so be it. And I'm picking up that he is. In this particular channel. So let's see for divine feminine, please. Anything you want and need her to be aware of. Irresistibility. Okay. Focus. Those arrows. Bloodline. Okay. What do you want her to, or need her to do? Take action in regards to? Reduction. Okay, clearing people, situations, things out of your life. There's Isis. She came out twice. But this is also, in some cases, like let's say that you are cleaning up your environment, or even just moving. In some cases, this is about getting rid of things you don't need. Yeah. So that you can elevate and manifest what you need, or allow what you've been manifesting to come back in instead. There's a karmic that is angry, and you know what? I really just don't care. Power. Right. I really just don't care. I really don't. Because they're being fake. And they thought that they were being sneaky and tactical towards targeting divine feminine. But unfortunately for them, what is she being called to do? The arrows here. Focus. Yeah, no, I saw that coming. Strategy. Saw that they were jealous of her beauty. Saw that they were trying to target her because of their jealousy, but also had a backup plan. And look at the protection behind her. Would you want to mess with him? I don't think so. Eros, right. Individuation and hope. So these people thought that if they ganged up in a big team, or they tried to make it seem like the light worker was wrong for going on an individualized path, that they could shatter the hope and the faith, meaning it would be easy to bully people into some kind of suppression. But that's a no. It's a no. It's like Aphrodite here. Gateways. There are new portals opening up, new abilities to move forward. Right. It's like this divine masculine energy. You don't have to be nice towards people who are mean or toxic towards you. Or more specifically, you don't have to tolerate it, right? But you can forgive a clown for being a clown. Just don't buy tickets to their circus. However, like I said, you've got people doing things like kidnapping other people's children or trying to terrorize the inner children of the light workers. Well, then there's nothing wrong with protecting your home space and your family and everything that you've been building and growing. Exactly, because they're the ones trying to disturb the peace with otherwise peaceful people, possibly Native American, possibly specifically racism towards Native American energy. Anything else? Okay, so it looks like some people are working to be or stay on the higher side of the divine, but be careful because this is Freya who plucks people up off of the battlefield and deems whether or not their souls are kind of like the scales of Ma'at, worthy enough, brought to a higher level of ascension is really what it is on levels, worthy to be saved. Okay. There's balance that has to be restored. And now, in a number of cases, the light workers were targeted because part of the purpose was to bring light to the fact that there was imbalance. And then also, not only after shedding light on the situation to help rebalance and regulate that. It's part of a purpose. So in other cases, in other words, rather, when these people tried to silence and attack light workers for bringing light, shedding light on a problematic situation and also seeking to bring resolution, they were trying to block somebody from doing their divine purpose, and that was problematic. Oh, what did I say? I just split the deck, exactly. And so their heart was weighed, their hearts were weighed, and it just wasn't good for them because their hearts were not, look, illumination, shed light. Their hearts were not coming from good places. Their intentions were not good, especially towards innocent women and children. Yeah. And there's karma for that. Come after a mother figure. Expect things to work out for you. No. The universe is not on their side. They try to knock the self-esteem of the light worker, again, by making them feel bad for being unique. But really, that's what makes them special. Okay. What do my light workers need to know? Divine masculines and feminines in regards to bridging them together on a healthy note. Realizing empathy as revolution. Yeah, so these predatory karmic people felt like people who have empathy are weak. They're easily manipulatable, or they're weak for having empathy or feeling emotions, but that's not it. They thought that they could be a step ahead of people by being manipulative, but the people who are truly intuitive and empathetic, that empathy is a gift. It's what allows us to be tapped into that on a much higher degree and be many more steps ahead than these karmics thought that they could with manipulation, right? Because people that think that they have spiritual gifts and then try to abuse them for dark things, there's a level of redemption if they don't understand what they're doing. And God will give some grace to a degree, but then when they either don't care or they continue to do that, that's when they're stripped. If they weren't coming from a bad place to start with and they don't stop once they realize they're stripped. Breaking the chains of repeating cycles. Exactly. It's not tolerating those types of people or situations anymore either. Healing with Mother Nature. Yep. Releasing emotional weight. It's also how that all gets wrapped up in the mind, like with trauma. Establishing emotional boundaries. You're not falling for. Okay, these karmics, they didn't want to sit with the sadness, the anguish, the feelings of loss that they know that they were going to have to face if they admitted the reality of a situation or defeat. They also were not aware of, like, let's say Mercury retrograde or Saturn returns and these karmic cycles coming back. They were not aware of how some of these cycles would play back out on people. I also picked up this morning, like, for example, let's say that somebody thinks, okay, MGem's an air sign. I'm going to try to attack her using this particular type of air magic or this or that. Well, the same way that they try to target people via elemental magic and stuff, or specific zodiac signs and stuff, is on the flip side, a light worker like myself can use that information for healing and positive benefit. So that's a backfire. But again, this is where they went wrong. They try to weaponize certain things, or really anything, for ill intent, and we don't do that, right? Like, let's say that I notice myself in more of a fire sign energy, right? I'll use that time to get more done and be in a more productive physical space that way, or tap into art projects, or maybe stand up for a cause in some cases. If it's a more of an air sign energy, depends on the type of situation, but sometimes it's often about communication and flow. If it's a water energy, then it's more about processing emotions or tuning into aspects of empathy and intuition. And so all of those things being positive, you can use the understanding of planetary alignments, natal charts, astrological flow, etc., for personal healing and growth and understanding and benefit. But these people are trying to weaponize things like, oh, okay, that's a fire sign that I don't like. Well, I'll try to use water sign magic to put their fire out, like that kind of a thing. And it's not the same. It's not the same. Water sign light workers thinking, oh, okay, well, I can tap into my water energy to, help myself and others heal and tap into my gifts and whatever. But a negative person is going to use that for a negative thing. It's just the same on the other end of the spectrum. So they're stripped. Creating personal space. They're being blocked out because they did not respect other people's boundaries loving the self on all levels. And this is why they were targeting light workers, 1222, because they don't like themselves. Transforming empathetic absorptions. No. So they project onto other people. They mirror and they copy other people, but then they project all of their other things onto other people. So they'll steal the things and the attributes that they think are likable about others, or they'll copy them, but then they'll try to pretend like who they really are is not who they are, and they'll try to throw who they really are onto other people. Choosing experiences wisely, and it's not smart. It's a terrible choice for them to be doing that. That's why they get karmic hell for it. Learning from social conflict, they don't. Oh, what did I say? Activating empathetic magic. Yeah, see, trying to target empaths. See, they've been trying to get help now, but people aren't helping them. The universe, the divine, is not supporting or helping them, because all they did was target other people. They did not pause to reflect, or they tried to disturb other people in their space of meditation. They tried to block other people from being able to manifest, to get things for themselves, which is why now they're blocked. Expressing artistic creativity, and they weren't. They were being basic copycats, plagiarizers, doppelgangers, thieves. It was just intrusive and simplistic. I hear basic bitch bum behavior. Yep. Cleansing body, mind, and spirit. And this is why they're stuck. They've got nothing going for them, because they were more concerned with what was on the outside than anything on the inside. And that really is, well, that's just a bad choice. They're choosing experiences wisely, right? They didn't do that, because now they have nothing to show for it other than their own personal embarrassment. Anything else? I think I'm going to drop the mic on that one. Please remember to pray. Do no harm, take no crap, and I will catch you on the next one. Blessings and namaste.